Everybody, welcome back to the channel. So this weekend we started a little project. This is my son's House of Balsa Texan. So we actually won this kit at a Warbird event about a year and a half ago. And every time we come out in the garage, he talks about, let's build the Texan, let's build the Texan. When are we going to start the Texan, Dad? So this weekend I'm like, all right, most of the rest of my stuff is pretty much done. We're just about ready to go for St. George. A little update here. Got a new motor in the Vindicator, Power 90, and it's all cleaned up. Motor runs awesome, nice and cool. So that's all good to go. I got a new receiver in the Panther, a 20 channel. Fixed the nose gear doors. I had some issues with those. Did a bunch of stuff lately. Put a 91 in the Corsair. She's a ripper now. Let's see, did some other stuff. I gotta fix the gear on the F-18 still, but anyways. So, like, alright, let's start this thing. I had a long weekend, so I figured let's get going. So we had the fuselage done the first day. So this was actually the electric version of this kit. So I reconverted it back to glow because originally this design was made for glow motors. So I had to make my own motor mount and stuff because I didn't go out and buy one. This is a GP10, so this is twice as big of a motor as it's supposed to have. It's supposed to have an 049 to a 061. So I got everything fuel proofed inside of here. Just kind of made my own firewall, motor mount and stuff. Obviously had to do some major modifications to get the muffler to fit. That's 1/64 ply. It's all fuel coated and protected from fuel. But a really nice kit. It's all laser cut. The parts went together super well. I mean, I just whipped this thing together with super glue really quick. This is a really small model, so here's a UMX Pitts. It's, that's a tiny model. So yeah, it's small. I think the wingspan is supposed to be like 36, maybe 35, something like that. Anyways, this is an old design, designed by Nick Zrolli. So super good instructions, great little kit. Anyways, so we got the fuselage and the outer wing panel done on Saturday, and then built the center section yesterday. And this morning I did all the stuff to mount retracts. Now these were meant to be fixed, so you can't have a Texan with fixed gear. So I had these little tiny retracts. They're marketed as E-Flight, but I have never seen those at any hobby shop or online or anything. I stumbled across those on Amazon a number of years ago. Bought a few sets. I got a set of my F-20 up there. That's what I bought them for originally. And when I got them, I'm like, man, these are really nice little units. And I think at the time I was buying these for like 40 bucks a set, like 50 bucks a set, something crazy like that. I'm pretty sure my friend Corey Dale bought the remaining stock. He's put them in a bunch of models. They're great little units. They're air up, spring down. So I put those in there, really small units, super light. So anyways, because we got so much power in this thing, I decided to sheet the lower part of the wing, which per the plans does not come sheeted. So it's much stronger now with the lower section sheeted. So we're just getting ready to frame up the last wing here. I also tripled up the tail. It's 1/16 on each side, and then one layer 1/16 to double up the stab. I mean, these were just super flimsy. You wouldn't be able to go that fast with the stock tails on this thing without something going wrong. I mean, maybe they would. They get a lot stronger with covering on them. But yeah, so this is the cowling. It's plastic, but it's already cracked somehow. I'm going to make a mold off of this and make a fiberglass one. Got a little 2-ounce tank for it. And yeah, it's been a lot of fun. I mean, 96.7 degrees in the garage right now. It is not enjoyable. But I'm going to get this last wing framed up here, and that'll be it pretty much for the structure. I got to do the Aileron torque tube setup back here. A couple little odds and ends, and then it's ready to cover. So, fun little project. I love building with balsa wood. If you've never built a balsa kit, or if you haven't done one in a long time, I would urge you to get out and do it. You know, there's still kits you can buy. You can go on RC groups and go in the used or the classified section and find kits for sale all the time. Usually fairly affordable, and it's just fun to kind of get back to the roots of modeling. I love my glow motors. I mean, if you look around my garage, I have like everything. I don't just do one thing. I got everything from fun scale wood stuff, glow motors, 2-stroke, 4-stroke. Got a couple of trainers right here, which I really enjoy flying. EDFs, we got jets, we got scratch built jets, we got one of the world's largest EDFs, soon to not be EDF anymore. We got old ducted fan kits, we got a turbine, we got scratch built warbirds. I pretty much love everything. Old wall foil micro airplanes, so I love pretty much anything. And fun scale stuff it's fun. It's really fun to build. So the last kit I built was this Corsair. It's a Great Plains Corsair. If you haven't seen it in the garage before, I added retracts to that too because those originally came with fixed gear. And a lot of fun building that. I've had that for about 4 years now. Fly the heck out of it. So anyways, let's get this wing framed up here real quick. If you've never built a balsa model or a balsa wing before, they're kind of a pain, but they go together pretty quick. Like I said, this kit is really nice. These laser cut parts are freaking sweet, man. They fit first time. No adjustment to anything. It's great. So normally you would use, so this is like a piece of drywall. It's a little harder than normal. I'm having a hard time pushing my pins into it, but it's all I had, so I figured whatever. Normally you would use wax paper over the top of the plan so that the parts don't stick in case the glue gets out of control. I didn't have any wax paper, and the last wing wasn't a big deal, so as long as you don't get carried away with glue when you're gluing the ribs down, you won't have a problem with gluing the part to the plan. So basically these little pins, you pin down the parts to kind of hold them in place until you start getting ribs down. So we're going to start gluing the ribs in, and should be a piece of cake. So now we got the ribs all glued down. We got to do an 1/8 inch strip along the trailing edge and an 1/8 inch strip along the top of the spar, and then the 3/16 by 3/16 leading edge piece. It's a square that glues into the front of the ribs like this. And then after the sheeting is on, then you round off the front of it. There you go. There's the strips glued on. So up next is the sheeting, and then I got to do a little strip of sheeting on top here too. Looking good so far. There you have it. So I glued the sheeting on leading edge first, and I glued all the tops of the ribs, and then I basically tacked the front edge down first and then laid it down on top of the ribs. I don't really enjoy doing built-up wings. They're kind of a pain, but kind of fun at the same time. I'm super lazy. I like foam core wings, but those are way easier, but a little bit heavier, and I don't know, it's pretty satisfying to build your own wing like this. But yeah, so I guess we'll come back in a little bit after I get this all trimmed up on the edges and the wing tips on, and got to sheet the lower side now. Okay, so there's the top. Now what I've done is I've glued a piece of 1/16 sheeting along the leading edge, and then I squirt it with water. And when you hit it with water, it makes the wood more flexible without breaking. So it's actually already curling by itself, which is kind of cool. So I'll have to run some glue down the ribs, and then run a little bit of glue on the spar, and hold the wing in position while it cures. And do my best not to warp it. And by warp it, I mean twist the wing. It's super flexible still, and it's very easy to warp in this stage. So, gonna need both hands for this one. Alright, so there we have it. I actually held a little twist into the wing for washout while it was curing. Not much, but just a little bit. Did the same on the other side. That helps with tip stalling. So now I just gotta carve out this leading edge here and kind of sand it all into shape. And then I also need to do cap strips over the ribs since now the surface of this is higher than the ribs, since this wasn't designed to have a lower sheeting. The top side, that's all accounted for, and it's a smooth transition from the sheeting to the ribs. So you can see on this side, I did the cap strips on this side, just little layers of 1/16, kind of blended into that trailing edge. So it actually changes the airfoil a little bit, makes it closer to a symmetrical, but anywho, let's get this all shaped up. So another thing I did is I did a solid balsa wingtip. So originally it's kind of meant to just be like a profile shape and then an open frame. So when you cover it, it just kind of like facets over the tip. I thought that was kind of lame, so I did a solid balsa tip. And the way I'm doing that is that dark part in the middle is the original piece. And I just put some balsa on the top and bottom. And I'm just going to use the little shaver here and going to shave it down. So you have it roughed out with a planer. Then you can come back and just sand it. Alright, so that's it for the main structure of the wing. Got the other side glued on, got the spar in place. Finished up the caps for the ribs. And put these little gussets in the corners the plans calls out for. So now I just got to do the torque tube assembly for the ailerons, but pretty excited. It looks pretty good. Okay, next step is to make these little torque tube assemblies with these brass bushings, and I slotted out this center section here. This goes in the back of the wing, and those torque tubes go in there, and that's what drives the ailerons. So pretty simple little setup, just one little servo in the center, and just gotta glue those brass bushings into this piece, then glue this to the wing, and then those will be ready to go. So this is how that assembly looks. So these are little torque tubes that'll turn the ailerons, and then this will glue them on back here, and a couple little push rods of that servo right there, and good to go. Alright, so there you have it, glued on. So these little fellas here will be tied to the ailerons, move nice and free. So yeah, it looks pretty sweet. Pretty happy with that. I mean, basically a day's work. Super strong compared to the original configuration with no sheeting on the bottom. A little bit of washout. Should be good. I'll about cover it for this video. And next video will be last few little things structurally, and then we'll start doing covering and stuff. So anyways, it's only 94 degrees in the shop. It's cooling off now. Alright, hope you guys enjoyed it, and let me know if you like this kind of content. And even if you don't, I'll probably keep doing it anyways. And we'll see you next one.